While some states have legalized recreational marijuana, in North Dakota, the Highway Patrol says driving under the influence of marijuana and other drugs here is becoming a bigger issue in the state. KX News' Guy Gregory reports on how the state is taking a proactive role in trying to catch people who are driving while under the influence of drugs.
In the past year, the state of North Dakota has increased the number of drug recognition experts, or DREs, who can identify and potentially stop those drivers who could be driving while under the influence of drugs. The training it takes to become a certified DRE officer involves intensive training through North Dakota's Law Enforcement Training Academy.
You wouldn't attend DRE immediately. It would get some time on the road to be more familiar and experienced with being able to identify impairment roadside. And then the DRE program, if an officer attends that, then they would be able to, basically they're taught more tools to be able to use to identify impaired driving.
Trooper Chase says one of the tools used to evaluate academy candidates is by having them attend a wet lab, where they're tested on their abilities to identify volunteers who are under the influence of alcohol.
So during the training academy, volunteer subjects that are there for that purpose will be dosed with alcohol, and the officers that are training will be able to test those subjects using the standardized field sobriety tests.
Once the officer has completed their initial standardized field sobriety training, they can then apply for their DRE certification. If they are accepted, they will then have to complete additional training.
So it's 2 weeks in classroom, and there are basically tests and quizzes throughout. So we basically gauge as they're kind of progressing and making sure that they're retaining the information. And then at the end of the classroom, there is a final examination.
DRE candidates get real-world training on identifying individuals under the influence of drugs by visiting a field certification site.
There are other agencies in different cities in the United States that will host this DRE field certification, and we'll be able to travel there to work with those local agencies to identify drug-impaired individuals that the students can test live.
Chase says the field certification site could be at a detention center, where they're tested on identifying individuals under the influence of drugs. A volunteered toxicology sample is then taken to confirm whether or not the candidate's assessment was accurate. Reporting for KX News, I'm Guy Gregory.
Trooper Chase adds that while there are now 63 officers from different law enforcement agencies across the state who are now trained and recognized as drug recognition experts.